The school decided the person in charge of the new project based on the final amount of sponsorship money raised. I worked tirelessly, running across half the city, bowing and pleading with countless people, and was on the verge of securing the project with an amount exceeding the runner-ups by just $10,000. However, my wealthy boyfriend, Damon, secretly invested $500,000 in the runner-up. He said the runner-up, Haley, was a poor student and needed the project more than I did. If that was the case, I decided I didn't want him or the project. The moment the project leader was announced, everyone looked at me with pity and regret. A few friends had even prepared banners to congratulate me. It turned out to be an early celebration. Haley, the poor student, stepped forward with a look of extreme surprise, as if she never dreamed such a desirable opportunity would fall into her lap. But quickly, she looked at me with red-rimmed eyes and said, Abby, you're not angry, are you? I just casually mentioned wanting this project, and I never thought Damon would take it seriously. Why don't I give it to you? I saw the provocation in her eyes clearly. My friends immediately stood up for me, cursing at her. You are so manipulative. What are you gloating about? Damon is blind and thinks you're pitiful, so he's giving you charity. It's just one project. We don't care about it. My friend, Mia, knew how important this project was to me. I had applied to a prestigious foreign university, held excellent grades, and my IELTS score was only 2 points short of perfect. This project was crucial for my resume, serving as a stepping stone to securing a full scholarship. Now, the project was gone, but I couldn't lose face. Otherwise, Damon's official girlfriend, would be a complete joke. Haley looked even more wronged, explaining, I didn't try to steal it from her. If I really wanted to compete, I would have started seeking sponsorship a month ago. I know my abilities aren't as good as hers, so I never intended to compete. It's just fate. Ironically, I got the project without even fighting for it. Her words were truly infuriating. Everyone present had, more or less, tried to secure this project but had failed for various reasons. Now, Haley emerged from nowhere, without preparing any proposal or asking anyone for help. She secured something we had all worked so hard for, simply by relying on Damon. Someone couldn't stand it and snapped at her, not fighting for it. What a pure, unsullied lotus flower. His official girlfriend didn't receive a single dollar of sponsorship. But you move your lips a bit, and Damon gives you hundreds of thousands. Who knows what shady deals you made? Haley's eyes widened, looking utterly innocent. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I had no patience for this boring scene. Just as I was about to turn and leave, Haley grabbed my arm and loudly insisted, Don't leave. Explain it to them, or they'll really think Damon and I did something inappropriate. I was mentally and physically exhausted, unable to suppress my inner thoughts. I blurted out, Even if you slept with him, it has nothing to do with me. The crowd gasped. Mia walked over and shoved Haley away. Don't touch her. The moment Mia finished speaking, Haley stumbled and fell to the floor. Mia looked horrified. Are you serious? You're faking an injury. Haley cried dramatically, her tears like falling rain, adopting the posture of a tragic heroine being bullied by us wicked supporting characters. Just then, a tall figure rushed in from outside the crowd. Seeing Haley on the ground, the person violently pushed me. If Mia hadn't pulled me back in time, I would have hit the corner of a table. Haley saw Damon arrive, threw herself into his arms, and sobbed. I don't want this project. I was just joking with you before. Please give the investment to Abby. Otherwise, she's really going to hate me. Damon looked up, finally noticing my presence, and realized he had just shoved me. He instinctively pushed Haley away, quickly walked up to me, checked me over, and looked apologetic. I was too rushed and didn't see you. Are you okay? His hand rested on my shoulder. I felt a slight wave of nausea, lowered my shoulder, and avoided his touch. Damon frowned slightly. I had never rejected him before. This was the first time. I said flatly, I'm fine. You should comfort her first. I'm tired and going home. Damon wanted to walk me back, but I refused. Haley suddenly let out a faint cry. Damon immediately turned to her. What's wrong? I think I twisted my ankle. It hurts so much. Damon glanced at me, said he would call me tonight, and picked Haley up before leaving. Mia was furious, ready to explode. She was about to rush up and kick Damon when he wasn't looking, but I held her back. After they left, the crowd dispersed. Mia was still raging. Why didn't you give him a piece of your mind? What's the use? If you hit him, his family is rich and powerful. They could send you to jail. And if they're particularly vindictive, they'll sabotage you when you look for a job. We're just ordinary people. We can't fight them. I spoke wearily, sounding like I had exhausted all my spirit. Mia understood and deflated. So, what are you going to do? Are you breaking up with him? Breaking up is certain. But I can't be the one to initiate it. I knew Damon's character too well. He always wanted a girlfriend who wasn't interested in his family's wealth and loved him wholeheartedly. When we first started dating, he tested me many times. For years of dating, he tested me for 3 years. If I initiated the breakup, he would definitely spread rumors that I finally lost patience because I couldn't get his money. I was genuinely heartbroken when I found out he invested a huge sum in Haley. It turned out his testing was reserved only for me. Haley just needed a few words, and he gave her hundreds of thousands. I gave him my sincere heart, and in return, I got tested repeatedly. A breakup was inevitable, but I didn't want to leave with a bad reputation. That evening, I didn't receive a call from Damon, but I did receive a money transfer from him. $500,000. Attached was a note. This transfer is a gift given with the intent of marriage. If the relationship ends for any reason in the future, the recipient must fully return the amount. Looking at the $500,000, I knew I had to push my academic efforts even further. I called my professor, asking if there was any other way I could secure a full scholarship. My professor sent me a document, explaining he needed one more person for his current project, and if I helped for free, he could give me credit and a recommendation. I immediately agreed. For the next month, I was busy every day, often so preoccupied that I didn't notice when my phone died. At night, I was still the last to leave. Grasping the data was challenging, and I had to work harder and dedicate more time. On my way home, I had to walk through a narrow alley. Suddenly, an unpleasant voice reached me. I genuinely don't have any cash. Don't be fooled by the hundreds of thousands of sponsorship money he gave me. He didn't actually give me a single dollar. It was Haley's voice. She sounded like she was being mugged, but clearly by people she knew. Do you think we're stupid? He's a rich heir. We saw him take you shopping for jewelry last time. He didn't give you cash, but he bought you an $80,000 ruby necklace. If you don't have the money, take out the necklace. We can pawn it for cash. The speaker was a man. Haley was furious, muttering, he bought that for me to wear to his birthday party. If you take it, what will I do? You idiot. Why don't you just buy a fake one to wear? He won't suspect you. This was another male voice. Haley hesitated, remaining silent. The two men continued to persuade her. Doesn't that rich heir have an official girlfriend? She'll definitely be at the birthday party. You can pretend the necklace went missing and frame her for it. That way, you drive a wedge between them and push the fake necklace onto her. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Haley thought for a moment, took a box out of her bag, and opened it. A ruby necklace, flashing brilliantly, was dazzling under the lights. Remember to sell it for a good price, Haley cautioned. The two men took the necklace and walked away without acknowledging her. Seeing them approach, I quickly hid to the side. A little while later, Haley walked away, still muttering curses. After she left, my mind was consumed by that ruby necklace. It was something I had always dreamed of, crafted by a well-known artisan. Niche. And very expensive. I couldn't afford it. Damon was with me when I looked at it. He was expressionless the whole time, his gaze fixed on me. I hadn't realized what he was thinking. My mind only on the necklace. Planning that when I went abroad, got a high-paying job, and turned 25, I would be able to afford it. Using it to celebrate my lifelong efforts. After seeing the necklace, Damon didn't contact me for a long time, until I went to find him. He was chatting with a few friends. When I was mentioned, one of his friends sneered. That woman is nothing but a bookworm. She's so boring. You haven't broken up with her yet. Are you actually going to marry her? Don't tell me you're that dull. Damon didn't say anything. Another person joked. Mr. Damon, you spent 2 years trying to prove she's a gold digger, but now that she hasn't tried to exploit you, why do you look unhappy? Damon seemed faintly annoyed. He said, I thought she was genuinely innocent. She hid it for 2 years. but she couldn't hide it anymore. 2 weeks ago, she took me to see a ruby necklace. She can't afford that kind of luxury item. Taking me there was just to get me to pay for it. But I didn't give her the satisfaction. The group immediately started jeering. See, we told you she's only interested in money. Good thing you didn't fall for it. At that moment, a girl who had been quiet the whole time spoke up. That necklace you're talking about, was it made by an artisan named Kay? She's liked that necklace for years. I think since middle school. Her birthday wish every year is to buy it with her own money on her 25th birthday. When she said this, everyone fell silent. Someone deliberately contradicted her. How do you know that? Do you know her? The girl nodded. She was quite famous in middle and high school for her excellent grades. I lived in the mansion area, and she lived in the rundown old apartments. Even so, parents from my area would hire her to tutor their children. She never hid her ambition. She's a great girl. After she spoke, the others were quiet for a long time. They eventually changed the subject to avoid the awkwardness. Before leaving, the girl said to Damon, "You looked so self-righteous just now. It was really shameful. She can't afford that necklace now, but she definitely will when she turns 25. And it certainly won't be with your money." Damon looked crestfallen. After that day, I intended to break up, but Damon's face was too much to my liking, and he later apologized sincerely. So the matter was dropped. The memory ended, and my eyes filled with tears. It turned out some people really could effortlessly obtain things others had to work incredibly hard for. The next day, Damon came to find me. He brought a bouquet of flowers. "I messaged you, but you didn't reply. Are you busy looking for a job? If you can't find one, I can ask my dad to arrange a position for you. Or you could just marry me and be a full-time wife." He said these words with a smile, assuming they would make me ecstatic. Instead, he saw my cold expression. His face instantly darkened. "What's that supposed to mean? Do I owe you something? Do I need to be lectured by you?" Just as I was about to speak, a notification popped up on my phone. My application had been accepted, although it wasn't a full scholarship. The tuition was waived. I only needed to cover living expenses. Seeing the news, I nearly let out a shout of joy. 2 years of hard work, and I finally saw the light. Noticing my momentary elation over a text, Damon frowned. "Did you find a job?" I had no intention of telling him the truth, so I gave a vague answer. "No." Damon handed me an invitation. "My birthday is next Tuesday. Here is the invitation. You can't get in without it." He assumed I would definitely attend. I shook my head. "I'm sorry. I have plans that day." Damon finally realized my attitude towards him had completely changed. As something occurred to him, he asked, "Are you still sulking about the earlier incident? I transferred you 500,000, didn't I? Are you saying it wasn't enough?" Hearing this, I picked up my phone and returned the money to him instantly, with the note, "Full refund." A moment later, his phone showed the transfer was complete. Before he could speak, I said, "How much money you give Haley is your business. You don't need to go through the motions with me. As for your birthday, I genuinely don't have time. I'm not angry with you. Happy birthday in advance." With that, I turned to leave, remembering something. I glanced back at the flowers in his hand and added, "I'm allergic to lilies." Damon froze in place. He wanted to chase after me, but it was as if a barrier had separated us, distancing our hearts completely. He seemed to show a hint of regret. That night, at 1 a.m., I was fast asleep when a frantic ringtone woke me up. I groggily checked the screen. It was Damon calling. I immediately hung up, but he was persistent, calling 3 more times in quick succession. Frustrated, I blocked him. The silence lasted less than 10 minutes before the phone rang again. It was one of his unreliable friends. "Damon is drunk. Come pick him up." The other end of the line was quiet, as if everyone was waiting for my reply. I was fully awake by now. I said deliberately, "Have your consciences been eaten by dogs? Or do you not consider him a friend? He's drunk. Why don't you find a comfortable hotel nearby for him to sleep in?" Instead of asking me to drive an hour to get there, in that hour, he could have already rested. They were taken aback by my response. Pausing for a full 30 seconds before replying, "Damon specifically asked for you. Otherwise, he won't go anywhere, and no one can get near him." I countered, "Isn't Haley with you?" "He's special with Haley. You should have her go instead." Haley was right there. When she heard my words, Her face went white. Damon wasn't that drunk. She had tried to help him a few times, but he ignored her. Tonight, she had played the role of the clown. After Damon treated her like she was invisible, no one else at the party paid her any mind either. She's not here. They chose to lie to persuade me to come. Haley looked mortified and kept her head down. I yawned widely. You can't be so useless. If she won't go, can you figure out a way to get her there? Your friend Damon only wants to see her. That's all. Don't call again. Unlike you guys, I have work tomorrow. After speaking, I pulled out my SIM card. Time flew quickly. On Damon's birthday, a friend who I got along with reasonably well tricked me into attending the party. The moment I got out of the car, I realized I had been duped. I stared intently at the person who deceived me. How much did he pay you? I met this girl in my sophomore year. She was isolated in the club at the time. I sympathized with her, befriended her, introduced her to people, and even helped her get a semester's stipend. I never thought kindness would be repaid with betrayal. She avoided my gaze, stammering, "Senior Damon genuinely likes you. I just wanted to help you and get you to marry into a rich family." Disappointed, I turned to leave. She tightly clutched my wrist, whispering, "You're already here. Just go inside and take a look." She looked exactly like a kidnapper trying to lure a college girl into the mountains. I shook off her hand and asked sharply, "What benefit did you actually get?" She actually teared up and said, "Senior Damon said if you attend his birthday party, he'll arrange a job for me. I'm timid and scared to interview at big companies. This is my only chance at a good job. Please help me." Okay. She always looked timid and fragile. I was fooled by this appearance back then. Later, I found out she was isolated because she was caught taking kickbacks in the club. I should have known then that if she could sell out the club for a small profit, she would sell me out for a greater temptation. Such regret. Furious, I turned to walk away. Just then, a luxury car stopped nearby. Damon and Haley got out together. He had gone out of his way to pick up Haley after she finished getting ready. Unlike her usual self, Haley was radiant, though the ruby necklace around her neck looked slightly duller. One handsome, one beautiful, they looked well matched. I thought Damon hadn't seen me and was about to slip into the crowd and leave. But he spotted me instantly and quickly walked over. "You said you were so busy. Why did you come?" "Judging by your clothes, I'll have someone prepare a gown for you." Damon seemed quite pleased. Not far away, Haley looked briefly annoyed when she saw me. But then, remembering her plan, she also walked toward me happily. "Abby, you came at the perfect time. I have another gown in the car. I'll help you get ready." She reached out to grab me. She was dressed to the nines. I was dusty and plain. Most people here didn't know me and were discussing our relationship in low voices. Who is the real girlfriend of Mr. Damon? Maybe both of them. It must be the pretty one. Look at her outfit. It matches Mr. Damon's. Haley clearly enjoyed the speculation. An ugly duckling becoming a white swan waits for that moment of transformation. That's why she desperately wanted to marry Damon. I avoided her hand and looked Damon directly in the eye. "You used a job offer as bait. Having someone I know trick me into coming here. Don't you think you're incredibly selfish?" Damon hadn't expected me to bring this up in public. His face instantly soured. He glared at the girl beside him and explained to me, "You misunderstood. I offered her a job purely out of consideration for you. Since she spread rumors, I definitely won't give it to her now." In a few words, Damon turned me into the villain. The girl panicked and shouted at me, "Do you think you're so virtuous? You have a rich boyfriend. And I have nothing. All I wanted was a job. And you have to ruin it. Are you even human?" Slap. Damon slapped the girl across the face. "Why are you shouting at her? I'm the one not giving you the job. If you have the nerve, shout at me." The girl held her face, looking at me with intense hatred. Unprovoked malice truly existed. I sneered. "Damon tricked you. And Damon hit you. Do you hate me instead of him because his family is too powerful for you to dare hate him?" Having her true motive exposed, the girl was too ashamed to stay and ran off. I was also ready to leave. Damon grabbed my hand, whispering, "Don't go. I have something important to tell you." I looked displeased. "It's your birthday today. Keeping me here will only make you unhappy. Let go." He didn't let go, instead pulling me inside. Haley followed behind us to prevent me from sneaking away. Whenever Damon had to leave, he instructed his friends to talk to me essentially, watching me so I couldn't escape. I sat motionless on the sofa, feeling no different from being imprisoned. They chatted about ordinary topics, trying to involve me. I smiled politely and declined. Then, a beautiful girl appeared. She smiled at me and greeted me. "Long time no see. Did you move?" This was the girl who had defended me a few years ago. I replied politely. I still live in the same neighborhood. Her family's mansion area was being demolished recently. They had all moved out. Our rundown old apartments were not scheduled for demolition. We were still living there. We weren't close, but I had an excellent memory. I recalled tutoring her twice. She smiled and said, "I'll come visit you sometime." This had to be polite talk. Her lambskin heels couldn't possibly step on the bumpy, cracked cement roads of my neighborhood. I smiled back. She raised an eyebrow. "You don't seem to believe I will visit." "No, I believe you." I would be delusional to believe her. We weren't in the same social class. Just like years ago, when parents from the mansion area sought me out to tutor their children. I didn't understand social class, only that my parents were overly polite, even reverent, whenever they saw them off. Later, I scolded a child who was constantly causing trouble and tapped his textbook with a ruler. He went home and complained, and my father lost his job. That incident affected me profoundly, so deeply that even to break up with Damon, I had to be cautious, lest I offend him and receive his twisted revenge. We chatted for a while. Haley kept circling us, trying to interject. She seemed desperate to please the girl, repeatedly praising the expensive items the girl was wearing. The girl initially indulged her, but finally grew annoyed and smiled at Haley. "You're so annoying. Go away." It seemed rich people could even insult you with a smile, because they knew the person being insulted wouldn't dare insult them back. Haley's smile froze. She left awkwardly. Soon, the birthday banquet began. I thought Haley would be Damon's dance partner, but it was the girl who defended me. Their dancing was graceful. Damon didn't dare show any disrespect. I later learned that the girl's family was far wealthier than his. Taking advantage of the dance beginning, I quietly slipped away. Just as I reached the door, someone called out to me, "Did you switch my necklace?" That was a gift from Damon. "No matter how much you hate me, you can't do this." Her shout caused the guests near the door to look over. I couldn't avoid this drama after all. I turned to face her, remaining silent. The music in the ballroom stopped precisely then. Damon, noticing my absence, came looking for me and saw the confrontation. Haley saw Damon approaching and deliberately raised her voice. "Hurry up and return my necklace." "You thief." Damon stopped, looked at Haley's neck. The necklace was still there. The wealthy girl also followed them out, watching the drama unfold from a corner. To solidify the accusation that I stole her necklace, Haley rushed towards me, reaching for my shirt to tear it open. Slap. I used all my strength and slapped her across the face. Haley staggered backward, nearly falling to the ground. Her lip was bleeding, and half her face was numb. Damon quickly walked to her side, studying her. Seeing her so badly struck, he turned and angrily rebuked me. "How can you be so vicious? Her mouth is bleeding." I calmly took out my phone and called the police. Haley threw herself into Damon's arms, crying loudly. "She switched my necklace. I just asked her to return it, and she violently hit me. I hate her." Damon glared at me. "Give me an explanation." I stood there like a puppet, silent and offering no explanation. The wealthy girl, assuming I couldn't defend myself, couldn't resist speaking up. "She hasn't been alone all night. There's no way she could have switched the necklace." Damon shot the girl a look. "This has nothing to do with you. Please be quiet. She has a mouth. Let her explain herself." Haley feared my words might soften Damon, so she tugged at his coat, pleading pitifully. "Damon, if it were anything else, I wouldn't care. She could steal it. But this is the necklace you gave. Meth sentiment is worth so much more." Suddenly playful, I looked up at Damon and said, "I didn't steal her necklace." Damon practically spat out his reply. "That's something you've dreamed of for years. It's normal for you to be tempted, but you shouldn't steal it. You could have asked me for it. I could have easily bought it for you. Years ago. I merely showed him something I liked, and he concluded I was trying to fleece him. Now, he casually bought the same item for Haley. yet didn't consider her a gold digger at all. Was Haley truly more capable? Or was I simply insignificant to him? It didn't matter anymore. I no longer cared. The wealthy girl, however, was angered. She angrily questioned Damon. If you knew this was something she dreamed of, and yet you bought it for a third party, aren't you the most despicable person here? Damon looked at me. Is that what you think too? Is that why you stole her necklace? The sound of police sirens drifted in from outside. Haley panicked. To assert her authority, she accused me. How dare you call the police? I pulled out my phone and played a video clip. It was the entire sequence of her and her two brothers plotting how to frame me. Halfway through the video, Damon released his hold on Haley. His face changed from anger to confusion, then to shock, and finally settled back on anger. But this time, it was directed at Haley. He raised his hand and slapped Haley across the face. He roared, "You actually lied to me." Haley's face was white. The slap mark couldn't hide the greenish pale tone of her skin. No, it's not like that. The video is fake. She didn't even have the confidence to lie anymore. The police officers entered. I explained the situation to them. An officer walked toward Haley. "Please come with us." Haley still tried to appeal to Damon, but meeting his look of disgust, she turned to me for help. "I was just joking. Can you ask the police to leave? I'll explain everything to you." I ignored her. In front of everyone, Haley was escorted into the police car. I had to go along to the station as well. Damon followed in his car. After giving my statement, Haley was released after only one night in detention. This was within my expectation. After all, the incident was just verbal defamation without any actual theft, making it difficult to detain her for even 3 days. But her reputation was ruined. Damon apologized to me. I refused, and formally broke up with him. He resisted. Just as he reached for a ring box, I interrupted him. "You had better not humiliate yourself. I'm asking for a breakup, not a proposal." My expression was cold, distant, and held a trace of hatred. But he was still determined. He held the ring. Kneeling on one knee, he said, "I tested you all this time because I valued you too much. I loved you too much. I was afraid you loved my money, not me. I swear I will never test you again. I swear to God. I only love you." His vow was effectively worthless to me. Foul and disgusting. Shameless. With that, I turned and walked away. A week later, my plane landed in another country. I started a new journey. 3 years later, I secured the high-paying job I desired. Finally, at the age of 27, a single month's salary was enough to buy the necklace I once dreamed of. But what I wanted had changed long ago. The necklace was just a physical representation of my mental state. What I truly desired was a beautiful life, a happy existence, and that was right here, right now. Later, Damon's family experienced a crisis and nearly went bankrupt. His family arranged a marriage for him to a wealthy woman. The woman constantly suspected he married her only for money and remained very wary of him. Damon, a proud man, was eventually subdued by life. Becoming an obedient, kept husband, his life revolved solely around the rich woman. Otherwise, he faced suspicion, physical abuse, and constant scrutiny. This was his retribution. As for Haley, she returned to her original social class, becoming an ordinary person struggling to make a living. That's life. No one knows what the next step holds.